If you're looking for a place to buy or sell your FIFA 23 Ultimate Team coins, check out u4gm.com as a reliable place to do so and use code ELYTE, E-L-Y-Y-T, for 5% off at checkout. The round of 16 games for some teams have concluded, and now we can learn from what they did on the market. And we take a look at Wesley Fofana first of all. I sold for 290 a couple minutes into the match, and I was playing it safe. But Chelsea, they ended up winning 2-0, and it's the perfect scenario for this card to go up in price, which it did. It rose another 65,000 coins per card. So I could have made well over another 100K, but do I regret my decision? I want to go out and say absolutely not, and I'm going to show you the math right now. If you guys have been enjoying these trading videos on the channel, the FIFA-related content, make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new so you don't miss out on any more trading tips, investment ideas, etc. So let's talk about Wesley Fofana to start us off today, a card that has skyrocketed in price. He's up to 350,000 coins right now. We're going to talk about if that's a good investment in a minute, but we're going to talk about what his card did on the hourly graph over the course of the last day when they played against Dortmund in the second leg at Stamford Bridge. So let's go ahead and put the scenario into our head. They were down 1-0 on aggregate, so Wesley Fofana needed Chelsea to win this game, but also they needed to win the game by more than one, or it would have gone to extra time and pens. So they would have needed to win the game by more than one. So the odds not necessarily in Chelsea's favor, although when you go to Stamford Bridge, you know, they could pull out a result. So not necessarily in their favor. So underdogs, I guess you could say, first of all. Second of all, the card is going to get a +2 upgrade. So it's going to go from 87 to 89, and the card is already pretty good. This is going to be a pretty nasty card once it gets its upgrade. And that's second of all. Third of all, it links really, really well. French, Chelsea, Premier League, you can't ask for much more than that. So if you put all that together, it's the perfect storm, the perfect scenario for this card to go up in price after they did pull off the victory 2-0 against Dortmund. And his card went from 250, let's say 257 on average, all the way up to 354,000, rising about 97,000 coins in price, which is about 30% if my mental math is correct. 30% profit on a single card. That is awesome profit. But let's think about if they had lost the match. And remember, that's perfect scenario for Fofana. He went up 30%. This is just a normal scenario for Daniel Malin here. 24K is what he is right now. If you want to guess what he was yesterday, 125,000 coins. He dropped over 100,000 coins due to the loss against Chelsea. He's not going to get an upgrade on his card, and the card ended up going down by about 80%. So 30% profit versus 80% loss. That's a big difference on the flip side. You don't want to be taking this risk. Mathematically, the bookie always wins here. You're taking a gamble, and the odds are not in your favor because even if you win, is it really worth it in comparison to what happens if you lose? And the answer is absolutely not. So you want to sell into the hype of these matches. But let's talk about his price now. 24,000 coins. You look at an 87 rated Daniel Malin, and we can actually take a look at the cheapest 87 rated in the game and see, okay, what's the worst case scenario? How low can it go? And the lowest it can go is about 21,000 coins. So there is potential for this card to drop another 3,000 coins. But in my opinion, it's 4-star, Dutch, Bundesliga. It's not an amazing investment, but I do think it is decently safe. But 24K, we're looking at this card. There's so many people dumping onto the market right now. And on top of that, we also have a Gomez SBC coming. So if you want a Bundesliga striker, you might be able to go out and get this Gomez. On the other hand, could Gomez bring more attention back to Bundesliga teams? And maybe Daniel Malin maybe used that as a left mid, maybe used as a second striker. And he could go back up and rebound in price. So when we're looking at a card that crashes as hard as this card did yesterday, naturally you are going to expect a little bit of a rebound. So if you can get this card for 23,000 coins or less, I think it's a solid investment. But I think a lot of people are getting a little bit too carried away in this card just because it is good. there's a lot of supply right now, and I think we can actually still go in on Wesley Fofana. Now, it might be a little bit longer term. It's 350,000 coins now, so anything less than that, in my opinion, is pretty good. But he's going to get an upgrade in the near future to 89 rated. And I think once that upgrade comes around, we're going to see this card spike in price. People expect it to go up, but once they see the card, once they see, 90 plus on both defense and physicality, he gets into the mid to high 80s on pace. He's 6'3". He's got these links. I think it still goes up in price. And then you also have this card's potential to go up even more as he plays in the round of 8. So I think Fofana, despite the fact that he has gone up in price, is still a better investment than Daniel Malen. Not to say Daniel Malen's a bad investment. I just encouraged it a little bit. But I think Fofana's even better. This card has so much potential to go up even more than 350,000 coins. In fact, if this card isn't over 400,000 coins at some point in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I will delete my YouTube channel. It'll be over 400K at some point. You just got to be patient with it. So that's my take on Wesley Fofana right there. And Gomez isn't the only SBC that we're going to see. And before we move on from it, I do want to just say that Al Jabir came out a couple days ago and we saw how good Al Jabir was for Cristiano Ronaldo's inform. This card ended up going from, when we invested at a little less than 110,000 coins, it spiked up after that SBC dropped up to as much as 128,000 coins. So we were making on average about 10 to 12K profit per card. Not bad at all for how quickly that Al Jabir dropped after we made that investment. It was only a few hours. So if you guys made some profit on that, make sure to leave a like on the video. And if you guys want to see more of this trading content, investment ideas, leaked SBCs, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. And of course, you can like the video as well, if you so please. But Cristiano Ronaldo ended up being a great investment for that Al Jabir SBC. I just don't think that Gomez is going to have that same impact. Sure, it could be a great value SBC, but we know that these hero cards automatically get 3 chemistry, so you don't really got to go out and buy any other cards to make it work a ton. So maybe these direct links to him, maybe players like Leon Goretzka, a slight rise in price, but I just don't think it's going to be much more than 5% on a lot of these cards. It's not going to be that much of profit to be made. But let's go ahead and scroll up to another leaked SBC. We've got another icon SBC, and it's going to be Zambrata. Right back, obviously, his default position. Probably will be able to play a couple other positions. I imagine they might make him also able to play left back if they're feeling spicy. But the card is not bad. And if they make it affordable, I could see a lot of people going out and doing this squad building challenge. So you could see, again, a slight rise on cards that are Italian. Maybe Gianluigi Donnarumma and goalkeeper could be a really good shout there. Maybe his inform card, etc. That could be a good shout for the Zambrata SBC links. But again, icons generally get their own chemistry as well. It's not as good as hero cards on chemistry this year. We've obviously complained a little bit about how icons link this year and all that. But still, you're not going out and necessarily buying a ton of cards to make it link in your squad. Now, we also have a Nick Lima SBC. And this is a okay American right back. He's at Austin FC. I think some people will do it just because it is American, because it is MLS. We've seen a lot of MLS content this year in comparison to previous years. So we could see, a rise in Giorgio Chiellini again, because what we'll see is people will do this Lima. They'll throw him at right back. They'll throw Gareth Bale back in. They'll throw Carlos Vela back in their squad. They'll buy Giorgio Chiellini. Maybe they'll go buy Clint Dempsey. Maybe they'll buy Landon Donovan. Maybe even Campos. So there's a lot of different options to invest for this squad building challenge. But it really just depends if they juice this card or not, because this is the predicted stats. And to be honest, that is below mid. So it's not like it fits the meta. Unless you're going out of your way to make an MLS team or an American team, it's just not going to fit in that many people's teams. So I can't see it having that much of an effect on the market. And so, to be honest, a lot of these SBCs that are coming out, I don't really rate that highly. I don't think they're going to have that big of an impact on the market. But this guy, I mean, Jesus Christ, we're getting an Al Oiron. Fantasy FUT Team 2. If this was an SBC, I could guarantee you it would affect the market a little bit. We'd see that Cristiano Ronaldo card going a little higher, but it's not. It's going to be in packs, and Jesus Christ, I just don't want to play against it. I don't want to play against. I'm tired of seeing him in my opponent's team. I'll be honest with you. So Alawiron is coming to FIFA 23 as team number 2. And then we've got Dirk Kuyt here, also coming to team number 2. He's got 5 stats, 85 and above. Not too bad if you have a couple Dutch players in your team. Maybe he fits in there. Now, when we talk about the current promo, FUT Fantasy, these cards also are dynamic, just like Road to the Final. Now, Road to the Final, a little bit more hype right now because all these Champions League matches are going on, and some of these cards are, skyrocketing price, some are crashing in price. But what I don't think a lot of people understand is that these cards that we're looking at right here, a lot of them are pretty much guaranteed to get upgrades. They are inevitable. Like, take Alexander Isak, for example. A Newcastle player, Newcastle decent this year, they're in top 4 in the Prem. It's pretty hard to believe that they'll go 6 games without winning a single match. It's probably just not going to happen, which means he's going to get a +1. And then as long as Isak can stay healthy, which granted hasn't been easy for him this year, but if he stays healthy like he is right now, he's going to appear in 3 of those 6 matches. That's another upgrade. He doesn't even have to score to get these +2 upgrades. And then if he does score 2 goals or get 2 assists, he'll get another upgrade, which is +3. And the card's already pretty bonkers. The thing about it is that these cards just have zero hype. They have no attention on them right now. That's a good and bad thing. Here's the good thing. They're cheap. These cards are very cheap. There's some really good investments here that could really work out for us. I think that Fabian is a card that could work out for us. I think Isak, as we just mentioned right there. I even think Saliba has potential to go up a decent amount. I mean, we've seen Alaba. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it just worked out that way. Alaba, take a look at what his card did out of packs. As you can see right here, he was in packs. He was really, really low. And then when he went out of packs, boom, he skyrocketed in price. And of course, he went up a little bit more as Real Madrid had a pretty good first leg against Liverpool. Let's be real. So he did peak at 1.5 million coins, but if we take a look at what he was while he was in packs versus out of packs before he even played that match against Liverpool, he went up to 1.2 million coins. So it's a very, very quick rise in price after they go out of packs. So I think there's going to be a similar rise on the cards for fantasy. I just think it's going to be a little bit more drawn out. And the reason for that is that these cards don't get upgrades or considered for upgrades until at least March 17th matches, which is another 9 days away. So we've got a full Team 2 coming out, and then after Team 2's done, then we start seeing potential upgrades come for these cards. So right now, nobody's interested because they know how long of a wait these cards are going to be for them to get upgrades. So if you have that patience, buy a few. If you have a high budget, I mean, it's staring you right in the face. Saliba, Llorente. Then if you have a medium budget, it's staring you right in the face. You've got Alexander Isak, you've got Skriniar, you've got Fabian. Even some of these lower budget cards are not that risky. You're looking at possibly Angelino's all right. Not too bad there. Lower budget one. What's my favorite lower budget here? Fernando's decent for Sevilla. None of these stand out a ton for me as low budget. I would just say go with your gut on these ones. Maybe look into which clubs are more in form, which clubs have an easy 6 matches. Potentially take a look at how much they're starting for their clubs. I haven't really dive too deep in terms of these low budget cards. Ben Rama actually could be a decent low budget one. 4-star already. He's got some pretty good stats, a couple upgrades on that card, and that's a very meta Premier League card right there. Only 73,000 coins right now. But I digress. You guys get the point on what I'm saying with these cards. They're pretty much due for upgrades. They're going to get upgrades. It's just about waiting until later in March for them to actually get these upgrades and make yourself some profit. Now, we were very, very patient with our cards on our transfer list right now, and we're seeing the fruits of our success. We're getting to cash out on these profits. Sure, we're not taking any risks into the matches, but that card I still made after tax 70K plus. And then I got another one. So I made 140,000 coins plus on these cards. For these Nico Barellas, you know, that's the one I bought for the most amount. I got one for $365, $345, $347, $360. This card is over 400,000 coins now. And he doesn't play until next week. So I'm going to hold him until next week, and I'm going to sell when he's inevitably like 430,000 coins per card. Lamela, we bought these cards at 37. He's up to 44 already. He hasn't played yet. And we'll have to take a look at when Sevilla play, if it's this Thursday or next Thursday. Same thing for Atal, 210. He's now 280. It's just patience. And we have seen it with these road to the finals. And so we can use that as a guide and just proof, and it'll help your state of mind, understanding that this is a very low-risk investment that will work out with these fantasy cards. All it takes is that patience. So make sure you're looking for some of those investments. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed, do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I would really, really appreciate it. And speaking of TikTok, thanks for popping up right then and there. We're getting back into some TikTok content, so if you want to see some fun trivia or guess the player, all of that on my TikTok, link down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. And also, if you made it this far into the video, go ahead and comment Fofana in the comments down below. Fofana is the secret comment word of the day, and I'll leave you with that. See you next time. Peace out.